What's up, everybody? It's your pal, the Coin Guy. I'm here again with my student, Alexia. Today we're going to be talking about Roman coins. So we're going to go through some basic identification work that she's done. We're going to learn about what she's learned. We're basically going to do this as like a mini lesson. You'll learn about more Roman coins. So sit back and enjoy. So yeah, Alexia, tell me all about the work you've been doing with Roman coins.
Perfect, yeah. So as I said in the previous video as well, I undertook this as part of an internship while studying here in Leiden University. So initially it was supposed to be a small database, around 30 coins. Well, turns out it was around 130 coins in total. But we started off with the first few coins that were only Roman. And there they already were a little bit cataloged and identified. So they had a lot of, they had some labels with their depictions, obverse and reverse. So I thought, okay, this is not for me right now. And I started the database, basically focusing, as we said previously, on the weight and the diameter, which is two of the most important things for understanding coins. Yeah. I also added material composition. Because as an archaeologist, I really thought that would be interesting to look at. But of course, as we later discussed, you do need a much more microscopical approach to understanding these things. Yeah. Because of the percentages, right?
Yeah. I mean, for some stuff, especially say basic Roman coins, it's very easy to say, yeah, it's copper. Yeah, there's no doubt to that. It's only when you really want to get into the finer details that you'll see that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. One of the challenges, though, I must say, was taking pictures of the coins. I think I failed on a lot of them because, unlike euros and more, let's say, modern coins, I couldn't really tell kind of how to balance it correctly and how to put the image correctly. So I think a lot of them I've put it totally reversed or something like that.
And that's actually something, and if you look at forums and stuff like that, you'll see that is one of the number one comments of, oh, yep, this one's actually upside down. Because if you don't know what you're looking at, and any of my students who have looked at these coins would know, sometimes they'll be like, oh, I think this is an octopus. Yeah, turn that around. Oh, it's a she-wolf. Oops. But that's very much part of the learning experience. It's learning how to even just simply position a coin, because again, if you want really nice identification for coins, you have to have good quality photos of the obverse and reverse. Which one's the obverse again?
The front side.
And the reverse?
The back side, obviously.
Good job. So yeah, basically what we would now say kind of heads and tails. We say in numismatics, we say obverse and reverse.
Perfect. Yeah, and then out of those, of course, we added a few columns to the database to say what the brief description was. So they're basically just say, okay, what do we see on each side? So we see, let's say, a figure. What figure could that be? What script might it have? And I think we have some examples as well.
Yeah. So just to pull out a couple examples of some of the coins she's been working on. For example, this one here. Are you able to read some of that?
Oh, I need to look at it quite closely. Yeah, VRBS.
Or URBS, so Urbs. Urba.
And then probably Komi.
That's an R.
Okay, yeah, well, it's quite faded out.
Yeah.
But so Romi.
Roma, yeah. Urbs Roma, so the city of Rome. And of course, on the other side, I think it's a little more obvious.
Yeah, on the other side, it looks like a she-wolf.
Yeah, it's a she-wolf, right, with Romulus and Remus. So obviously, this is in fact a commemorative issue of Constantine the Great, celebrating the city of Rome. Fairly straightforward. This is also something where this one's particularly nice, where you can very clearly see the letters, but you have to consider the word Roma. If you can only see the R, you can only see the A, or it's a little bit trickier. And this is something that you learn over time. So for example, this is a very nice one. Are you able to read that name?
Yeah, it's probably Constantine, right?
Constantine, why?
Yeah, because of the C-O-N, Const.
Yeah, you can actually start, So this, again, it's going to Constantine, Constantine the Great. So you can actually start C-O-N-S-T-I-N, right? Constantine. Sometimes you only see the C and the T, But you know C, something, something, T, it's probably going to be Constantine. This is the same sort of thing with imagery. So, for example, of things like gods. For example, I've already kind of given it away, but what do you see here?
Well, this one is a figure, obviously, a standing figure with a sword.
Yeah.
So, I'm guessing if we relate it to gods, then probably maybe Sol Invictus?
Sol Invictus, yeah, exactly. And as you can see, sometimes we only get, say, the head, or we only get part of the arm, or we only get kind of a vague figure of how it's standing. But when we've seen 100 of these, 1,000 of these, 1,000,000 of these, and we've seen statues, and we've seen them depicted in murals and mosaics, we can actually then compare that. What are some other kind of challenges or things that you found interesting with these Roman coins you were looking at?
I think in regards to the interesting part, it's also about recognizing patterns a lot of times. So a lot of what we're talking about as well with recognizing names or reading them. At some point, you just have to get really good at understanding what the patterns could be like. So when you're trying to read these coins, and yeah, if you do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, you will start saying, okay, yeah, I see a name. This could probably be the name of what this coin is trying to depict. So slowly starting to put things together. It's kind of like a puzzle usually.
Yeah.
Of trying to understand what the name could be, what the year could be, and then of course what the depiction could be. A lot of these coins maybe don't even have the depiction, because it could be eroded away. So yeah, it's a lot of guesswork, but eventually it becomes really a pattern recognition task. So.
Yeah, this is another good example right here. So on this side, very obvious again.
Is it Constantine again?
So yeah, Constantine again. Yeah, you very clearly see Constantine. And on the other side,
this one I don't.
yeah, 0 points. 0 points.
Oh no, you're gonna.
So yeah, we'll see. This one is Camp Gate, right, for like a fortification.
Okay.
And this is actually a design that we see all over the empire through many periods, but once you start to see it, once you start to recognize this shape, it becomes very easy to identify.
Yeah.
Other things as well. For example, this is a coin of Diocletian, right here. Notice his crown.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at some other ones from later, such as here, you can actually see the crown gets bigger. Right? You see the patterns start to emerge there.
Yeah.
What actually happens at a certain point is it basically becomes a crown measuring contest. You see later emperors make the points of the crown bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where they're actually like here, like they just look ridiculous. And it's a way of showing my crown is bigger than your crown, so therefore I'm the better emperor.
Yeah.
Things haven't changed in 2,000 years. What can we say? Yeah. Anything else you noticed?
Yeah, basically this kind of thing, it also shows a little bit, I think it has also a few extra meanings, right? So as you said, with the bigger crown, they're trying to signify probably that they're more important, or a little bit, trying to say, I'm the better king. So I really found that interesting, and eventually, if you do it a lot of times, it starts to become initially repetitive. But I try to look out for these kinds of details and say, it's a really nice depiction on it, kind of thing about the meaning, and that also keeps the interest going over 130 instances, so there we go.
There was only like 20 Roman ones though.
So
the rest of them, and what our next video will actually be on, is a mixture of mostly Islamic coins, which we obtained for the purposes of the department, for teaching purposes, and somebody had to categorize them. So in our next video, we're going to up the challenge because we're going to be dealing with Islamic coins. So that's all for today. Thanks again for watching. If you have questions, send them to me, post them in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe, and see everyone next time. Bye-bye for now.